focus on people, a focus on community. These are the stories that affect all of us in Northeast Ohio. This is 43 Focus.
Reading and writing are fundamental. Reading takes you places you may never have been. Writing takes others where you want them to go. Black men come under all kinds of stressors, and they need a way to reset from the daily rigors of their life and career. My two guests and I are going to discuss both of these topics, and we invite you to come along. It has been fun talking with Matt Wickham, Director of Literary Cleveland, about its programming and the organization's ongoing fundraiser to support Lit Cleveland as they support writers wanting to write. And when we come back, we shift our focus to a Summer Vibes, which is an opportunity for Black men teachers to reflect, reset, and rejoice together after a stressful year in the classroom. Also, this reminder, if you need a master of ceremony or a keynote speaker for your nonprofit event, give me a call at 216-367-7323 or email me at hboomer@woio.com. I'll be right back with Anthony Brown, the program manager for Family and Community Engagement for CMSD. He also serves as the chair of the MOCHA network, the Men of Color Shaping Academics for the school district. Anthony Brown is the program manager for Family Community Engagement for CMSD. He also serves as the chair of the MOCHA network, the Men of Color Shaping Academics for the school district. Black men are rarely in schools across the country. They, like all teachers, take on far too many responsibilities. In the past, little attention has been paid to their needs and how they cope with their personalities in their classrooms. Anthony Brown and I are talking about that and about the opportunity for them to hit the reset button during an upcoming Men of Color Summer Vibes Kickback. Anthony, you have been in the education arena for a long time. Talk to me about why you decided to do that, mold young minds, and what kind of benefit to you and to them, and what kind of trauma it has caused to you. Just in being able to have to deal with so many personalities for so long and sort of undo what kids learned and teach them what they need to do and all of that. Talk about being a teacher.
Listen, Harry, I think that is like, if I had the answer and it was worth $1 million, man, I'll be rich right about now. I think any educator, we just do it for the love and for the joy because somebody did it for us. I remember having a teacher, well, several teachers who really, who went above and beyond to help me. And when I found myself, in a position where I was like, hey, you want to come and mentor, you want to come work with some young people. And that's how I got started. And from there, I kind of stumbled into education because my first degree was not in education, but I kind of found this passion in this work and just being able to work and just help work and encourage young minds to help them see beyond what's in front of them. I think that was the more rewarding than anything. Just recently, I had the opportunity to participate in an alumni weekend from my high school, which is also the school I worked at, that I attended. And there were so many alums who were my former students. And just to hear them say, Mr. Brown, had it not been for you, where would I be? I'm like, oh my gosh, I would have never thought I would be in that position, in that place. But at the same time, as you're saying, it does have its ups and downs. It ebbs and flows, so to speak. And with any, I think probably with any, job, you have those days like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? Where am I? But then even when you get those moments like that, when you're like, oh my gosh, you don't know what you did for me. Like, oh, it was all worth it in the end. Even though the days like you have no idea, hair out. I'm pulling my hair out, just trying to get you to understand, sometimes having to reteach or unpack, because a lot of times the students, they come to the table with a lot of emotional baggage. So sometimes before we can even open the textbook, we have to start with the social and emotional trauma of a student to get past that barrier before we can even start to talk about, let's learn something. So I think the biggest thing is always about building relationship and be able to establish that rapport so the student will be able to feel comfortable to want to open and be like, okay, I can let my guard down and I can listen to Mr. Brown.
And you said Mr. Brown, and I want to key in on that, those two words, Mr. Brown. As you know, there is a dearth of black male teachers across America, here in Greater Cleveland as well. What impact do you think your being a black male in a classroom has on your students?
I think that is paramount. I think especially for our students of color, to be able to see, a male figure who looks like them, who represents who they are and where they come from, speaks volume. Nothing against the mothers and the ladies. I listen, love them, but it says something totally different when you can see a man of color who's not just the PE teacher, not just the disciplinarian, not just the custodian or the security guard. Don't get me wrong, those are important too. But to have a teacher, an administrator, a dean who there walking the halls, engaged, it just sends a different kind of message. Because we become the uncle, the father, the big brother, the mentor. If we're really in it for what we're in it for, it makes a world of difference for a scholar.
Anthony, let me step back just to one moment and use your little Johnny example. You said he made it, but there are lots of little Johnnies that don't make it. How do you deal with that? Not only not make it academically, but literally just don't make it. They die in the streets. And that's trauma for you, for their classmates, for the school, for this community. What can you do? How do you synthesize that to get through that?
It is a reality that we have to deal with. I was talking with a colleague just the other day, and he talked about he had a young man who came into the building, and he wasn't even sure if he was going to make it summer, let alone make it to graduation. Because that's, unfortunately, that's the reality that some of our young people live in. And so it's really a matter of just trying to make sure we wrap our arms around young men and our young women, to be able to let them know that they have a support system beyond just, mom or dad. Or if they don't have mom or dad, if they have another support system they can reach into, but they just have to we just want to just keep reminding them that we're here and that and provide them with enough encouragement and some direction, helping them find the summer jobs, helping them connect with the resources in the community, helping them find the academic resources just in case they did not make it. Then what do we need to do? How do we hit the reset for our young people? And also, but maybe to provide them with the right network and skill base to be able to say, okay, this is where you can go. This is who you can call, so you don't think that you have to succumb to the streets, so to speak.
We talk about a ton of different topics here on 43 Focus. Among them this morning, reading, writing, and relaxation, as we're doing. Here are some of the topics we also cover: health and health care, alcohol and other drugs, crime, including domestic violence, policing, the good and the bad. We also discuss family issues, the economy, employment, and education. Plus, we talk about housing and politics, leadership, race relations, diversity, equity, and inclusion. If you know someone who can talk clearly about any of these issues, drop me an email at hboomer@woio.com with their info for consideration to be a guest here on the show.
43 Focus will be back after these messages.
Welcome back. My special guest on this portion of 43 Focus is Anthony Brown, the Program Manager for Family and Community Engagement for CMSD. He also serves as the chair of the MOCHA Network, the Men of Color Shaping Academics for the school district. We're talking about taking a break from the rigors of the classroom by just kicking back and taking some time, some me time, if you will, so they can reflect, reset, and re-engage in their careers before returning to the classrooms.
We do professional development, we do workshops, we attend conferences whenever we can. But throughout the year, we go through a lot, through trauma, networking and engaging with families, just the changing dynamics of education. We start with one curriculum, and sometimes in mid-year, something else changes. And so we just deal with a lot. And so then our own issues or concerns, or just how we're going to, make sure we are taking care of ourselves, our self-care. is big. So we wanted to take a moment to kind of get together as educators to kind of just create a space, a safe space where our gentlemen can be able to come together, reflect about what the good, the bad, the ugly, so to speak, of the school year, to kind of hit that reset button as we getting ready to go into the summer. Think about not a lot of heavy work, but just to kind of think about what would you do different 2023-24 academic school year, highs and lows. What is something you would do differently? And then let's also rejoice. Let's celebrate the wins. That little Johnny who was a challenge at the beginning of the year and how he may have made a turn, or you had that one scholar who all of a sudden the light bulb went on and they graduated. Or making a connection to a family because they were having their own issues or concerns, but you were able to make the connections and and provide them with some resources and supports. Now the family is able to open up and be able to say, you know what, Mr. Brown, this is what I'm going through. This is my challenge, but thank you for providing me with the connection. That's a win. So we wanted to be able to, to connect with not just the men of color in CMSD, but to be able to reach out throughout the community. So whether you're from the urban, the rural community, wherever you are in Northeast Ohio, it's maybe like, hey, let's brainstorm, let's think about a few things. And then are there some other resources available? Mental health awareness, so we want to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves first so we can be able to take care of other people. Right. So we want to partner with some other organizations that are going to be coming in. I know we talked about some of the academic programs for those gentlemen who may want to go back to school for the summer. We talked about bringing in some mental health agencies or just a representative to say, hey, this is how you can help reset over the summer. Again, just to kind of reflect and just say thank you to all of the gentlemen. Have a great summer, and then we'll see you in the fall.
Let's talk some, Anthony, about the whole aspect of when this is going to happen, where it's going to happen, and how folks can get in contact with you or be a part of this.
Sure. So the event is going to be Thursday, June 13th, right as we lead into the Juneteenth kind of weekend celebration. So it's a great time for men of color. It's a big celebration, so to speak. And it'll be at the Punch Bowl Social right there in the Flats from 5 to 8 p.m. So we'll do a little meet and greet, some fellowship. We'll do some little activity. And then we're going to just again, create a safe space for all of these educators, no matter whether they're first year, they are more seasoned, they're a veteran at it, or I'm even also inviting some retired men of color educators because they're seasoned. They can pour into some other gentlemen so they can be able to find those networks. So that's the goal. And then we've even partnered with another organization called the Profound Gentlemen, which is a national network of male educators of color across the country. So we have a chapter right here in Cleveland that we're also going to be working with to provide those connections. Again, it's all about peer network support, providing social skills and development and mentorship.
Okay, I want to just thank you, man, for talking to us about Summer Vibes, Reflect, Reset, and Rejoice Together Kickback, Black male teachers and former teachers and some of the old heads out there who can come in and, as you say, pour into people. One more time, when is it going to be? Where is it going to be? How can they get in contact with you?
Definitely. So again, Thursday, June 13th, 2014, at the Punch Bowl Social from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Again, it's the Summer Vibes Kickback. Again, we're all about reflect, reset, rejoice together. Open for all men of color educators, whether you're a paraprofessional, you're a teacher, an administrator, a retired educator. We're even open for those other male of color, like if you work in safety and security, you work as a custodian because you still have an impact. You can really just give me a call at 216-304-8473. You can call me. I can text you the link for registration, or you can send me an email at anthony.h.brown@clevelandmetroschools.org, and I'll make sure I get you the information.
Anthony, thank you so very much, man. It sounds like it's going to be an important and fun time. So appreciate you taking the time to talk with us about it. It's always good to see you.
Thank you.